One of the phrases we heard from Governor Palin and others at the convention, Republican convention, was that in Iraq, victory is in sight.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
You know, they have yet to define victory, or it's a very slippery definition. You know, my view is, number one, that it was a poorly conceived mission. So to talk about victory,
So there'll never be a victory?
Look, I think that I think George Bush, with the help of John McCain and Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney, made a big strategic blunder. There are enormous costs to that blunder. It's the equivalent of them driving the car off the ditch. I think it's possible for us to get the car back on the road,
but that's not going to be victory.
But well, that doesn't signify that we are better off than had we not gone. And so I do think there has been enormous reductions in violence because of the extraordinary service of our troops. And there is no doubt that that the improvements in terms of violence has to do with the surge and the Sunni awakening, the Shia militias standing down, and we have to take advantage of that opportunity. The strange question is why John McCain insists on continuing to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory when...
How so?
Well, Prime Minister Maliki has said that we are ready to take control and responsibility for what's happening in Iraq. And John McCain seems resistant, even at a time when George Bush is prepared to say that we need to have some sort of time frame or timetable.
But given all you just said, how do you escape the logic? You said we've succeeded with the surge beyond our wildest dreams. How do you escape the logic that that means that John McCain was right about the surge?
Well, look, you know, it's interesting to me why people are so focused on what's happened in the last year and a half and not on the previous 5.
No, granted that you think you made the right decision about the surge.
But they're connected, George, and here's why. My whole premise has always been that it was a distraction for us to go into Iraq. Once we were there, we had to make the best of a bad situation.
And didn't the surge do that?
And what I have said is that at the time that we made the decision to go in with the surge, that it did not address the underlying problem, which is the willingness of the Iraqis to overcome their political differences and reconcile.
And to provide 15 out of 18 political benchmarks have been met.
And to provide the kind of strategy that would allow us to move forward. That wasn't part of the package in the surge. So if the question is, has the surge done much better than we expected in combination with these other factors in reducing violence, the answer is yes, and I've said this repeatedly. If the question is, what was the judgment to be made at the time the surge was put forward by the Bush administration, my choice and John McCain's choice was, are we going to continue to give an open-ended blank check to George Bush without any strategy for political reconciliation, or are we going to try to pressure this administration to come up with a more coherent, cohesive plan for how we are going to wind this war down?